Chairman CBIC Vivek Chopri, members of the board, distinguished officers from the state government, eminent citizens of Tripura, traders, associations and members of the trade bodies, and all those who have come here today to participate in this function on a human water. I am indeed very grateful for your presence here. Vivek Chopri clearly said the importance that good infrastructure plays for officers to do their duty. I am glad after a wait that Tripura has got the GST Bhavan, and we see that the place has enough room for officers and others from the field formations to work, and more importantly, that it has a place where citizens who are part of the stakeholders, who have some interest in the GST or who would want to become assessees, can approach this office, and there is a space dedicated for their purpose with an officer seated there to answer their questions. In case they want to do filing from here itself, either because they don't have the facility, they are operating at a very small level, even that facilitation is being provided. So I think this construction speaks for the open-mindedness with which GST and its officers are trying to keep the citizen in mind, the businesses in mind, the traders in mind, and creating an office setup wherein they can function, but they can be accessible for those who need that help. So I'm glad that that approach has prevailed, and as a result this building, although it's in a smaller sized plot, has vertically grown and has got enough space, and thoughtfully it also has space for training of officers. So in all, I think this building is now very adept for dealing with a growing facility. And I say growing, I did mention in the morning when we met when we had a gathering for awarding well-functioning officers, I did say what GST has actually made as a difference for the Northeast. There are one or two things which I want to highlight specific to Tripura. We all know that GST is a consumption-based tax, and the more a state consumes, the more GST is collected from there, and therefore to that extent, commensurate extent, GST is also provided to that state. Tripura, just 1 minute, I think I've got a different page. Tripura, actually before the GST was introduced, received only 4.21 crores as central sales tax collection, and from the collection, Tripura's share was 4.21 crores. And that is true of 2016-17, the year 17, the year before GST was introduced. Whereas in 22-23, the year which ended as of March 23, Tripura collects 982.50 crores from interstate trade. Where is 4.21 crore and where is 982, 4.21 versus 982.50 crores, 982.50 crores within a matter of 5 to 6 years. So post GST, the collection and the revenue generation for Tripura has been extremely favorable. Where it was single digit, it's gone to 3 digits in crores. So interstate trade has now been greatly facilitated, and therefore I think it is showing on how GST has actually meant good for the northeast states, and Tripura's number is almost enviable. Of course, Tripura needs a lot more resources, but the fact that within 6 years, under the same head, you're getting so much more proves the need for a greater coordination through the GST. And of course, with GST coming in, more businesses have come into the system. However, with an office like this, with a bhavan like this, and which has kept the citizen in mind, I would think it's necessary for us all, to do an outreach along with the state government, so that more small businesses understand that they stand to benefit by enrolling in the GST. By staying away, many of the benefits which accrue to the GST registered companies are not available if they stay out. Even if they are just composition, those who opted for the composition system, they still derive a lot of benefits. Large companies do not want to buy or procure goods or service from non-GST institutions. It will do well for more and more institutions to come into the GST fold, for which now that you have a building in your hand, it will be important to call the trade, small associations or big associations, and interact with them to say, through their members, get more people enrolled, and for which the state government also should be requested to cooperate and draw more people from Tripura. And when I speak of Tripura, I am fully conscious that the terrain is such that access to some parts of the state is very difficult. And for such areas, it might help for us to go there and sit and talk rather than invite them, leaving their businesses, to come over to the bhavan. So there should be a two-pronged approach. Those who can come here through the associations, let them come. And for those who are in the far-flung areas, in order that they can appreciate the GST's benefits, it might be worth the officers here to consider going and meeting them in their respective areas and telling them what it does to their own businesses and to the state as well. So without taking much of your time, this building will give you all the necessary infrastructural requirement which normally officers should basically have. It's not some luxury, it's to have a convenient workplace, and that's what has been provided now. So I would feel that the officials here can maximum utilize this place in order that you are able to explain yourself and also redress grievances. So thank you very much for coming here. All the very best for the Tripura unit, and whether it is GST or customs, because you are a border state, it is very important to remain alert. So the customs also has to play a very carefully thought out role, and quietly at that, without creating too much glitches, so that trade between the two countries is facilitated rather than hindered. So thank you very much for listening to me patiently. Jai Hind.